Hey, it's been a while since I've done one of these, ladies and gentlemen. Normally, I usually do like vlogs or news stories, exposing the back cuffs or anything like that. But this one caught my attention earlier. It's been on probably like a week, but it just was published a day ago. And I was watching Washington's Most Wanted earlier on the tubes, and this caught my attention. I think I need to do a story about this and pop this on my channel. Why? Because a couple of these Kent Des Moines officers are real heroes. I mean, a couple of these officers, all four of these get my Good Cop Hero of the Year award, and you're going to find out why. Des Moines police officers' quick actions credited with saving lives following a mass shooting at a Kent bus stop. Yeah, there was like over 15 people waiting at the bus stop. It's probably on Kent Des Moines Road and Pack Highway. They said 15 people were at the bus stop, just waiting for the A line. Kent. Quick action by 4 Des Moines police officers is being cited as the reason a 15-year-old shooting victim, as well as 2 other victims, are alive today after a shooting injured 6 people. They were wounded in a shooting at a bus stop near Kent Des Moines Road and Pacific Highway South at about 6 p.m. the evening of July 13th. Yes, I know this is 12 days old, but I didn't know about this until an hour ago on the tubes. A citizen flagged down Kent Des Moines Police K-9 officer Doug Weeble, who was headed home after his shift. There were probably 15 people in the bus stop, and everyone was kind of acting frantic, said Officer Weeble. He quickly radioed for additional officers and began administering first aid to a 15-year-old lying on a sidewalk. I ripped his shirt off, kind of scanned over mass hemorrhage, and found that he was shot in the back, said Officer Weeble. Officer Johnny Tyler was also heading home from his shift. See, there's 2 cops heading home from their shifts. When he heard the request go out for the chest seals he carried in his vest along with tourniquets and combat gauges. He started working on the second shooting victim to seal up the gunshot wounds to his chest. I'm just telling him, hey, you're doing good, and put the chest seal on him, said Officer Taylor. Several bystanders then pointed him to another victim around the corner who had been shot in the leg. I had the tourniquet with me, grabbed the tourniquet, placed it around, strapped it down, and cinched it, said Officer Tyler. Paramedics said the victim could have bled out in 2 minutes, if not for the quick action. Officer Shay LaMarche was the 3rd Des Moines police officer on the scene. He started helping Officer Weeble care for the 15-year-old who was in and out of conscious. I started sternal rubs. Just talking to him, telling him, hey, stay with me, said Officer LaMarche. He and a paramedic got the team to the Medic 1 unit and worked to keep him breathing after finding no pulse. The team remains in Harborview Medical Center serious condition in a intensive care unit. Officer Lachey credits their combat first aid training for knowing exactly what to do. I feel that one of the officers putting a tourniquet on the lower extremity wound to stop the bleeding saved that person's life. The other officer put an elusive dressing on the patient and then rolled him on a recovery position to help them breathe. Another officer started CPR with one of our 4 paramedics, and that patient survived, said Senior Paramedic Rick Arnon with King County Medic 1, who was the 2nd unit on scene. Those 3 patients may have actually died at the scene without their assistance, said Arnon. In the middle of saving lives, they also had to worry about the shooter returning to the scene. We were still keeping an eye out, watching, looking, said Des Moines Police Sergeant Patty Richard, who was the 4th to arrive. The 2 victims were teenagers, and I had a 16-year-old wanting to hold my hand because he was scared. All this other stuff going on in the world, at that point in time, it didn't matter. That's what we are here for, said Sergeant Richard. She said she had the right people at the right equipment. They were at the right time and did with 2 men fighting in the street who were not involved in the shooting, others across the road yelling at them. The scene was pure chaos. There are a lot of great police officers in our region. This incident is a great example of the outstanding work being done by police officers every day. I'm very proud of the work done by our officers Medic 1 and South King Fire to save lives and keep our community safe, said Des Moines Police Chief Ken Thomas. And there's a little video we'll play about this.
It was around 6 p.m. on Monday, July 13th, and Des Moines PD K-9 officer Doug Weeble was headed home after his shift when a bystander flagged him down. Of Kent.
off, and everybody was kind of acting frantic.
He quickly radioed for more help.
That's the A-line bus, 6101. That's coach number.
The scene
It's a 2013 New Fly DE
Two men
60
were fighting
LFR.
in the street.
I need southbound shutdown. The next guy coming in to hit me and start fire.
Officer Weeble found a 15-year-old lying on the sidewalk.
I ripped his shirt off and just kind of scanned for mass hemorrhage and found that he was shot in the back.
Officer Johnny Tyler had also been headed home for the life-saving medical equipment that he carries in his vest.
Good. Pause, and then chest seals, and this is a 2-pack, so it comes with 2 separate ones.
He started working on the second shooting victim to seal up the gunshot wound to his chest.
I'm just telling him, hey, you're doing good, put the chest seal on.
Then Officer Tyler found another victim around the corner.
I had a tourniquet with it, strapped it down, and cinched it. I've been on some big scenes, but this one, your adrenaline is going to the max.
Officer Shayla Marsh helping Officer Weeble care for the 15-year-old who was going in and out of consciousness.
I start doing sternal rubs and trying to talk to him, just telling him to stay with me.
He and a paramedic got the teen to the Medic 1 unit. Stage training.
Damn, anyone does
The
that.
CPR absolutely saved that person's life.
Rick Arnone was the second paramedic.
May have asked for assistance.
And in the middle of trying to save lives, shooter was going to come back.
Still keeping an eye out, watching, looking.
Fourth on scene
One of the bullets stuck the bus.
to comfort the 15-year-old's brother.
The 2 worst victims were teenagers, and I had a 16-year-old wanting to hold my hand because he was scared.
I got one and 2 critical. Hey, Chris, 2 critical. We'll see or fire now.
All this other stuff going on in the world, at that point in time, it didn't matter.
Looking back now, she says they had the right people and the right equipment at the agrees.
We worked very closely with Medic 1, South King Fire and Rescue, and as a team effort, there were 6 victims in this case that were shot, and it took a lot of personnel to do a lot of medical procedures to save lives.
And that's what I said to say. These 4 officers are, you know, they're in my mind. They are these guys get the good cops of the year. 4 year officers, 4 of them. Especially when the pandemic with COVID-19, you know, people still reeling over CHOP. All these riots going on in Portland and Seattle. People smashing windows and breaking businesses, all because, you know, they feel like the Black Lives Matter movement is not, you know. I mean, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it about it. These people want to do it in mass destruction because they're afraid their voice is not getting heard. That's not the way you do it. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, we already got the, you know, really kind of pandemic, so it's kind of good to do a good story like this, ladies and gentlemen. All right, everybody, take care. See you, men's out.